This game, in the past 6 months, has been on a roller coaster. And a lot of that roller coaster was kind of downhill. But I think we're heading upwards. And now this whole thing could be a bit of copium, but I'm going to lay it out in front of you why I think so. From what I've seen, from what I've read, from what I've seen myself, why I think this game is on an upwards trajectory. I mean, realistically, the number one reason why I think this game is on an upwards trajectory is because the news that trading being removed was probably the lowest moment in... it sounds weird to say like the lowest moment in Rocket League history, but the game has been, everyone's loved the game for such a long time. There's been small complaints that things haven't changed, but having something change and it be so negative, the entire community, everything dropped, and we all of a sudden just hit this massive, that's it. That feels like the lowest point in Rocket League history, Hello, it is me, one day later in a different Hawaiian shirt, here to tell you that no matter how bad Rocket League gets or how much of a decline it goes through, we can make it a little bit better with today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Repeat.gg. Repeat is an esports tournament platform where you can earn money simply by playing ranked. You see, Repeat holds tournaments where the points you earn come from you playing your ranked games in Rocket League. In fact, I have my own tournament happening right now with a prize pool of $1,000. You see, the better you do in ranked, the more points you earn, the better you place in the tournament. Now, the site is owned by PlayStation, so you know it's reliable. They have dedicated admins to make sure everything stays fair throughout the tournaments. And if you want to enter multiple tournaments, you can. There are 18 daily tournaments going on, 6 weekly tournaments. There are so many different things to get involved in, so get involved in all of them. Play as many ranked games as you want, as it's only going to use the best games for scoring. Now, for how to sign up, it's easy. First, you just make an account and then you connect the platform that you play on and it's done. That's it. No installs, no payments, just sign up and get ready to play. So to all of you guys and to all of my teammates, sign up using the link in the description, go and play a bunch of ranked games, play really well, and give yourself a chance to win some easy money. We have a few things going on, actually. First off, Rocket League Racing. Now, I don't play Fortnite. I think I played it for 2 weeks, 4 or 5 years ago, and just never played it again. I downloaded the game. I tried the game out. I was like, I'll fair you, I will try it out. For me, it was kind of boring. It seems weird being like, I think the game's on an upward trajectory, and then being like, this is boring though. But for me, it's a little bit boring. For everything there is in Rocket League, movement-wise, the game is so movement-heavy, especially with air rolling and stuff. For that to not be in Rocket League Racing felt very weird to me. I gave it a bit of a go. In short, it wasn't for me. It might be for you guys. Some of you might really enjoy it. It might bring some people into Rocket League from the Fortnite community, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But personally for me, I didn't really enjoy it. I found it to be quite boring, but that could have been because I was expecting a bit more. That game mode, I believe, is the reason we lost trading. So I think going into it, I was like, this better be worth losing trading, and then it wasn't. I was a bit disappointed. I probably won't touch it again. Now, when I say Fortnite bringing players to Rocket League, I think that is the hope, right? I think that is what I guess the people at Epic kind of hoped would happen, because obviously Epic does not want one of their own games to do badly. And since they purchased Rocket League, it is now one of their own games. It is in their best interest to keep the game alive. And so I think in their head, Rocket League Racing was a way to bring more players into Rocket League and to give it more advertising to a much wider player base. If you see the number of people playing Fortnite these days, it's massive. I think there's some potential to bring people over from Fortnite to Rocket League. There's such a distance between Rocket League Racing and Rocket League that I don't know how many of those new players will stick or how good the crossover will be. Anyway, that is the hope. The hope is Rocket League Racing does really well. It gets lots of updates, as well as Rocket League getting updates. We can have both. Both get an equal amount of updates, and in doing so, players from Fortnite, players from other games that want to try Rocket League Racing will find that to be a small introduction into Rocket League, and then potentially come over to our game and enjoy it. And we have a thriving player base again. The new maps. I actually really like the new maps. I understand that they didn't make a new map. They kind of just reskinned old ones. But for what it's worth and for what they did, I actually really like the way the new maps look. And that's not a common thing. I think sometimes there are some really good maps, and sometimes it's a bit rough when you wait all season and the new map comes in and it's, blinding, or it's impossible to see the ball, or everything feels weird, or the map is off. I actually do like the new maps they brought into the game, which I'm happy about. On top of that, they brought 2 new cards to the game with the Rocket Pass. It's cool. I think it's, if I remember correctly, one is the breakout hitbox and one is the hybrid hitbox. So it's kind of nice that it's not just another Dominus car. Obviously, it's not Octane, so it's not the most common hitbox used that kind of almost all the community uses. But it is cool to see that they are bringing two different cars and they're kind of changing things up, even if it's just a little bit. Now, when it comes to the Rocket Pass itself, I'm going to be honest, I had a quick look. There's nothing in there I really enjoy. Some gold explosions were kind of alright, but there's like the retro gold explosion that's kind of cool. Overall, I'm going to be very honest, I probably just won't buy it. Next, one of the updates they made to the game is they changed the main menu and the way the menu looks. And I hate it. I'm just going to be very honest, I hate it. Something's very weird about it. It just feels clunky. You also, for some reason in the first few days, and it might still happen now, when I tried to go into free play, it put me in aerial training. Like, the buttons that I used to press to be able to go into free play quickly, I could spam X and go into free play. It now takes me into rookie aerial training. There's that very weird thing. There are minor bugs that have happened all over the place, but nothing too like game breaking. Everything seems kind of fine. The update itself is okay. Like new map, new cars, they're kind of cool. Rocket Pass. The small bugs I can kind of live with. But stepping away from the game itself, let's take a look at some other things. Now, the community has kind of called out Rocket League and Psyonix themselves and kind of Epic in general for not really communicating anything. They didn't really communicate much about trading being removed. They just kind of removed it and said nothing about it. And I called them out a bunch on YouTube. I'm not going to pretend I took some high road or something. I was very blatant about my criticisms. I didn't hold back. I'll show you some. I said, season ends tomorrow and we have no news of anything except a game mode in a different game. Rocket League Racing. We used to have updates where they would tell us what's coming up months in advance. Now we have complete silence unless they can make money. And that's kind of just, I was frustrated. I said a few things before this. I was kind of frustrating. This is the first bit of communication. I'm like, oh God, it pains me to even read, to show you this. So at one point, Rocket League added the Jordan item shop tab into the shop. And for a few hours, it was priced at 500 credits. And then the first bit of communication we get from Psyonix is this tweet. The Black Fennec currently in the Jordan shop item was incorrectly priced at 500 credits. We have adjusted to the intended 700 credit price point. Any players who purchase, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, the only thing we heard about from Psyonix was them being like, hey, we undercharged you. We're going to bring that up so we can make more money. And that's it, We've been asking about trading for so long, and hey, we're losing money. Let's chat about this. It's just so, yeah, I don't know. That was very weird to me. I felt very, I was like, community's not going to like this. It's kind of over. However, after no communication for a very long time, Rocket League finally announces nothing with this tweet. They say, hey all, let's talk about the game we love, Rocket League. The same team that has been supporting Rocket League is still cranking on updates coming to Rocket League in 2024, both the core game and RLCS. It's a bit too early to share details, but expect more news on that in the new year. Rocket Racing is not replacing Rocket League, and we're excited to grow these games side by side with cross-game vehicle ownership between them. And, a bunch of people said, very cool communication, this is great. I was also a part of the good communication, enjoy this, gang. And then Abject kind of just blatantly was like, they didn't say anything, why are you guys congratulating them? And I was like, you got a point. Like, they said, hey, we're still updating the game. Can't tell you anything else, but we still make this game. We're still working on it. But I honestly, as much as I kind of rip it in them a bit, I do have some faith. The reason I have some faith is you take away all these all these things they're trying to sell. They advertise the new maps. They then say arcade playlist cards are here. Jump in, mix things up, and play varied limited time modes. They rotate each week, so check back often for new experiences. This is cool. Rotating game modes. It means that it means this, the one where you have to eliminate each other. The movement-based game mode. This was sick, and I'm glad it's back. It's cool that this can be something that gets rotated in each week. It's very cool to see that we're going to be getting arcade modes weekly, and it's going to change all the time. The part that has me kind of the most excited, and this might be a big leap. Lethamir has been someone that has very publicly stated a few times that Rocket League need to communicate a lot more. And then he posts this tweet. I honestly think with Rocket Racing finally out of production, we're about to see some real good changes to Rocket League. I've spoken with some devs, and it sounds like we're on the uptrend. Nothing but positive changes from here on out. Now, I understand he's spoken to devs, and he can't communicate that, which, you know, once again, just makes it like no communication. So it kind of feels a bit weird. But as someone who is an established member of the community, if they're saying it sounds like we're on the uptrend, when you have to consider the things Lethamyr has done for the community and the things Lethamyr has brought to the community, I think we're in a good spot. It might just mean it takes a while. I think we've been okay waiting for Unreal Engine 5 until this point. I'm sure we can wait a little bit longer. It's just, for me, it's the case of, will they actually tell us what they're planning? I think if they start the new year, if they start in the next month or so, and they say, here's what we're doing in the next 6 months, 12 months, like they give us some sort of plan. At least then they don't have to deal with another year of people saying, what is going on? This tweet, while they may not say anything, this is the first bit of communication we've got from them in a while. They say it is a bit too early to share details, more news in the new year, which is cool. I'm really hoping that they do this whole thing of they go back to saying, hey, we're doing this in this many months time. We're working on this. This is a little bit away. We can't really share too much, but trust me, Unreal Engine 5, like big copium. Unreal Engine 5 is coming. It's just we're still working on it. I'd be okay with that. It's just, yeah, this part I'm really excited about because this sentence alone puts pressure on them to continue communicating with the community. Considering Lethamyr is kind of happy about it, and he's someone who's been very outspoken about what Rocket League could change, what they could integrate into their game to bring people back to the game, bring new people into the game. I have faith. And yes, I know, like, there's no hard evidence. We have to take Lethamyr's word that he spoke to a dev that things are happening and aren't going to get delayed, and they're going to be able to communicate something because the dude who runs a social media account said there'll be more news. It's a lot of like reaching and hoping and praying, but I have hope. I just think if they weren't going to plan something or weren't going to plan to say anything, they would have stayed quiet because they had stayed quiet for so long. Very cool to see that they have things planned. It sounds like the bar is so low. They're planning things, but that's genuinely the case. And so when I say I have hope for Rocket League, when I say I think we're on the up, one, yes, it's because I think, about 2 weeks ago we were rock bottom, but apart from that, I think we're on the up because it seems like they are trying to acknowledge that, yes, they do care about the game. It may not seem like they do care because, a lot of us are just very publicly slandering them for not seeming like they don't care. And when 100 voices say the same thing, it seems like it's coming from 1,000 more. I do have hope. I think the game will head towards a good spot, and I'm actually very excited to see what happens in the near future. The one thing I am upset about, I will not forgive them for this. They took away Drop Shot, and that is diabolical. I do not know, like, oh god, I love Drop Shot, man. I hate Snow Day, and waking up and seeing that news, that's it. That's it. I'm going to end it on a positive. I think Rocket League is going to be in a good place. I think we just have to. I'm going to ask you to hold a few more months, but I think we have to give it a few more months for at least a little bit of information. And if in a few more months, in some time, they come out with an update and it's awful, you might see another video of me being like, I was wrong. It's over. We're playing something else. I'm straight to Valorant. I'll figure something else out. But until then, until it all goes, no, I'm ending positive. I believe we'll have a better game in the new year. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.